Fall in Sin City, Las Vegas, a town that has seen its fair share of heavyweight fights over the years, and tonight a couple of championship hopefuls come to town ready to get it on the big stage as we welcome you to the Geico Players Era Tournament on TNT. A couple of top 15 teams, number 8 Alabama and number 12 Gonzaga. As we welcome you to the MGM Grand Garden Arena, we welcome you courtside, Spiro Adidas and Greg Anthony. We both apparently got the memo, wearing our blue blazers. We'll hear from Jared Greenberg in just a couple of minutes. Doesn't get any better than this. This is our kind of appetizer a couple of days away from Thanksgiving.
Oh, this is going to be an amazing game. When you think about this Gonzaga team and Alabama, both, I think, have Final Four aspirations. And both have been somewhat battle-tested coming in, and they also have that star power.
Speaking of star power, let's talk about some of the headliners in this one. LeBaron Fine, he is the catalyst for Nate Oates.
No, there's no question. This young man that really flirted with turning pro, decided to come back, and I think it was a wise decision. He is the anchor, the catalyst of that vaunted offense, and this is the team that loves to get up and down. And then on the other side, a lot of experience with Graham Ike. This young man is versatile, he's consistent, and he is a rock down low for this group. Gonzaga may not be the most talented team he's ever had, Matthew, but this could very well be his best.
The waiting is over. What a matchup this is going to be, and we are set. Bama and Gonzaga. The tip coming up next on TNT.
I'm a big rock. And while you're down there posing for pictures, I'm seeing the bigger picture from up here. And this little birdie's telling me it's time for this rock to roll. Photo bomb! And if you don't have the right insurance, this could really flatten your savings.
Awesome.
So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
They all want the Emirates NBA Cup.
I'm gonna get that.
30 teams, 6 groups, nowhere to hide. The hungriest will advance. The rest will be left behind.
Now this is high-stakes action.
Everyone wants that cup.
But only one will capture it.
Are you kidding me? You've earned this, so hold it up high. You put on the biggest event of the year every single weekend, surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. You roll up your sleeves to roll out the red carpet, because the end of the night for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
And we welcome you back to the Geico Players Era Tournament on TNT. Beautiful Vegas skyline as we're just about ready for Gonzaga and Alabama. We got some late-breaking injury news on the injury front for Bama. And for the very latest, we welcome in Jared Greenberg.
All right, Spiro, it is a case of good news, bad news as it pertains to Latrell Wrightsell, the star guard for Alabama. Here's the bad news. Not only is he going to be out tonight, but Wrightsell is going to miss the entire Players Era Tournament because he's got a left leg injury. Now, that's the bad news, but the good news is I'm told it's twofold. Number one, it's not a serious injury. The trainers are just being extra cautious for him. He's had a history of injuries, including a right leg, which last year, it is his right leg, not the left leg. Last year, he missed 10 months after rupturing his left Achilles. But for this tournament, fellas, with that injury, Wrightsell, longest tenured player for Alabama, out for the tournament, guys.
And Jared, as fate would have it, that Achilles injury took place here in this tournament a year ago, but obviously this one much less serious, so they hope to have him back These are the top 2 scoring teams in the field here in Vegas, both in the top 15. Gonzaga averaging 94 per game, Bama 91. So Philon, Holloway, the sharpshooter. We've already mentioned EK and everything, all the firepower that Mark Few has. We had a chance to visit with him before the game. And the future Hall of Fame coach loves this group. Feels like they could be one of his better defensive teams, GA, that he's had.
And also one of his deepest. And Nate Oates, these are 2 of my favorite coaches. What Nate Oates has done at Alabama, at a traditional football school, turning it into a basketball powerhouse, has been nothing short of impressive. But we just had the F1 race here. This is going to be like that. These 2 teams want to get up and down the floor. So, folks, you guys are in for quite a treat.
Alabama has had a brutal non-conference schedule. They have fared well. Able to knock off Illinois just a couple of days ago in a highly impressive game. And meantime, number 12 Gonzaga, perfect so far, 5-0. Number 21 in the preseason AP poll. They knocked off 23rd ranked Creighton by nearly 30 points. But they haven't been tested like they will be tonight. Don Daly, Greg Nixon, Edwin Young, our veteran officiating crew here in Vegas.
And no question, typically it's the holiday tournaments where you tend to figure out who you are. And that's a nice find there by Philon.
Aiden Sherrill getting his early money's worth, that crisp ball movement that Nate Oates preaches.
And that's another area where Philon has really improved, averaging about 6 assists a game. We know about his ability to score, but his facilitating has also been on the mark here early in the season.
3-pointer from Adam Miller won't go, the Peoria, Illinois native. Holloway can stroke it, one of the top 3-point shooters in the country. And the officials say stay right here. Rebounding foul against the Bulldogs. And then underneath out of bounds here for Alabama.
You get a little bit of a push there by Huff, trying to secure that defensive backboard.
Braden Huff, the man whistle, the redshirt junior. One of these 2 really impressive bigs. We know about EK, but all the size that Mark Few has now underneath. Here comes Philon, chiseling his way to the rack.
And really good job with the patience there. He allowed for the big who was helping to exit the area, then a nice little lefty finish by Philon.
Well, you won't find a better backcourt tandem in the country with Philon and Holloway. Everything that they can do. Nice little leaner won't go. Huff, stick-to-itiveness, and he's going to get himself to the free throw line.
And talking with Nate Oates before the game, the one area of concern, if there are any, for Alabama is controlling that defensive backboard, and that's going to be something that Gonzaga is going to try to take advantage of. That's one of their strengths, folks. They attack the offensive glass.
Certainly there's strength on the interior with this guy right here, Braden Huff and Graham EK. Everything they do, not only with the scoring, but their rebound work as well, as Huff, the Illinois native, misses on his first. Terrific in their last victory against Southern Utah, 22 points, missed only 2 of his 13 shot attempts in that game. And he comes up empty on that trip. And look at EK. EK wants to take Sherrill on the box, the spin. Everything but the finish. Another offensive rebound and the stick back. Grant Foster.
And that's an example of what this Zags team can do. They are going to be relentless in the attack on the offensive glass, and oftentimes you have to be concerned with your transition defensively. But Mark Few not concerned here early because he knows his team needs to dominate on the paint.
Both teams already, you can see the pace, Greg, that they like to play with, up and down, the tempo just non-stop.
And that's the one part about the tempo is oftentimes teams that love to run don't do a good job with their defensive transition. That's another area of concern for Alabama. Gonzaga, it's hard to say because they haven't had the level of competition yet that we've seen with Alabama, already having played, in essence, 3 top 10 teams to start the season.
Good looking corner 3, and that's good. How about that start from Tyon Grant Foster? Young man who's played for 4 different schools. This is Keaton Bristow, guy who missed 3 games already this season with an ankle injury. He's a sophomore, but Nate Oates hinted in our conversation with him earlier
On that possession, that was off a made three. That transition, they were so quick getting it up that even though he doesn't knock the shot down, it was an uncontested corner three, and that's the one shot that most teams want to take away from a defensive standpoint.
Into the corner, this is Miller, unable to knock down the three, and Sherrill controlling the glass for Alabama. This Alabama team, everything they've accomplished the last couple of years under Oates. Look at this ball movement. Bristow cutting back door. Miller was there for the close. Bristow creating the space.
Terrific job. You talked about it. Great spacing and ball movement there. Alabama doing a terrific job here early.
But already the Bulldogs, Greg, wreaking havoc on the offensive glass. And the possession arrow favors Gonzaga. Mentioned the tough non-conference. This is by design. Nate Oates challenging his team, Greg, and everything he's thrown at them, they have passed with flying colors. Last year, 28 wins, another deep run into March.
And also literally true road wins, right? Or games, I should say. Now, even the Illinois game, that was in Chicago. So in essence, that's like a home game for Illinois. And Alabama, those games really do set you up well for conference play. And it also gives you an opportunity, as Nate Oates talked about, you know, he has a real good sense of who they are because of that competition.
This is Mario Saint-Supidi, the young Spanish national.
Say that again, because I got to get this. Supidi.
There you go.
I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to offend his parents.
Got to roll the tongue a little bit. As he's going to get himself to the free throw line as Bristow is whistled for the foul. Mark Few said he really likes this kid, all kinds of international experience with the Spanish national team. But you're a veteran coach. A little apprehensive playing a freshman at the point guard position, especially with the teams that they've got to face. But he really likes the makings of who this player is.
And what did he tell us? He said, you know, he's a freshman, but he's not your typical freshman because this is a guy that's played at a high level with a lot of international competition against professional, so he's not afraid of the moment. They brought him along slow, but he has really shown that he could be a difference maker for them because he gives them a different element than anybody else they have in that backcourt.
Spent last summer with the Spanish senior national team at the European Basketball Championships, so he has been under the bright lights. Here's a pullback fine line from deep.
That's just next level attack there. I thought defensively a great job with the hedge, Gonzaga, but again, it's the patience of Fallon there, creating the space for the triple.
And that was the one part of his game that Nate Oates challenged him to improve upon. Obviously, an accomplished scorer already, and he has taken that next step. But tough fall-away baseline jumper from Grant Foster. Excellent interior defense by the Crimson Tide. So just about 4 minutes gone by in this first half. These two heavyweights, a couple of championship hopefuls under the bright Vegas lights. Here's Fallon. Look at Ike, how far he steps out with his defense, a guy his size.
And the way the game's played today, your bigs have to be able to play in space. And that's something Ike is very comfortable doing. You're seeing him hedging hard with quick, active hands on the perimeter.
And look at that Bama defense. Snatched out of the air by Fallon. He's going to pull up a transition three. Fight for the rebound. Bodies bumping all over the place. Ike, just too much strength.
Well, he came in showing you the goods. Fallon here with the hezzy, the step back, and the splash. Alabama looking electric here early on, led by their super soft.
Eczema isn't easy to plan for, but with Ebglyss, people with moderate to severe eczema can have real results, like skin that's still more clear at 1 year.
Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Ask your doctor about once monthly Ebglyss.
Say yes to this cookware set and to a delicious pre-made holiday feast for those of us too busy to cook. I'm gonna need all the mac and cheese.
How many are you hosting?
Just me, just me. Say yes to this award-winning apple pie and to affordable shaving products. Show them your new look. It'll grow back. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, no.
Just breathe, darling.
24 Hours of Elf starts Friday at 8, only on TBS.
150,000 people die every day.
Coming to TNT.
BP's crashing. Chart
Clear?
The Emmy winner for Best Drama. The Pit. Next Monday. Back-to-back starting at 9 on TNT. Say your DVR.
Here we go, baby. Here we go.
This is the Big 12, where 16 teams battle in a new era of college football. From the Rocky Mountains to Florida, TNT Sports uncovers the untold stories of these programs.
Let's move with it.
Big 12 Uncovered reveals the sweat, the swagger, and the dreams. Every Saturday, take a behind-the-scenes journey with a different program in one of the nation's toughest conferences.
We play on TNT.
Big 12 Uncovered, Saturday on TNT.
TNT Sports coverage of the Players Era is presented by Sam's Club. Join Sam's Club today and celebrate the season of yes and say yes to everything you want and need. Happy early Thanksgiving. Great to have you with us. What a sight. Players Era, this field that has expanded. 18 teams this year. And we got some of the top championship hopefuls around the country, Alabama and Gonzaga. GA, what have you seen so far?
Well, I think both teams are in essence playing to their strengths, right? Alabama, they're going to get out. They put tremendous pressure on you with the skill set in the backcourt. And the real strength of Gonzaga has been their front line. They got guys that are so skilled. They're multidimensional, led by Ike. The question, though, is can they make good enough decisions? They had a couple possessions here where they were forced into poor shots and a turnover, and that allows Alabama to get out in the open floor, something if you're Mark Few, you want to limit those opportunities, especially early in the shot clock.
DK fed immediately, garnering the double team, spins and turned back. Sherrell got him, shot clock doesn't reset. This is Supiti looking for some daylight against that vaunted defense. DK. 3 to shoot, top of the key, jump short. 5th offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. Deep 3 won't go for Miller. And the rebound finally tracked down by Jamison. 6 offensive rebounds already for Gonzaga.
That's not a recipe for success if you're Nate Oates. However, their defense after those 6 offensive rebounds has been terrific. They've only given up the 1 basket here in this first half. So I don't think you can live with a heavy dose of that if you're Alabama, but a part of that is also scheme, right? Because they love to extend their pressure, and that means their bigs are going to be out in the perimeter a lot, makes it much more difficult to control that defensive backboard.
Great, beautiful maneuver underneath. That is Sherrell. The skill to catch that for a guy his size, come down under control and finish in tight.
That was an impressive big-to-big action there.
EK looking for a crease, goes glass. Boy, good start for Sherrell. GA, both ends of the floor. As Gonzaga's scoring drought continues, they've not hit a field goal now in almost 4 minutes. This is Holloway in tight. And who do the Bulldogs now turn to for some much-needed scoring?
Well, I think they'll continue. They're a team that allows their offense to create the offense, the spacing and the passing, but some of it is they've got to adjust to the speed, the quickness, and the athleticism that Alabama presents out on the floor.
EK trying to get himself, look at him surrounded by 3 white jerseys. And Sherrell ain't done yet.
Early on, I will say, I think Gonzaga is trying to overpower a little too much there. That's not a good decision by EK, trying to attack 3 defenders. You got that many guys on you. You've got great spacing on the perimeter. You've got to get the ball moving a little bit, not allowing Alabama to load their defense.
So Mark Hughes going to give his star big a couple of minutes of breather here. 4-point lead. Again, we talked about all the firepower the Bulldogs have, averaging better than 94 points per game, but this is a different level test.
And that's a great point you make, Spiro, because even though Alabama also a high-scoring team, they've done it against high-powered teams to start the season. And Huff there with a beautiful spin and finish. And even though it feels like Alabama's been in total control, this is a 2-point game.
For a beautiful drop step by Huff. After the Bulldogs have missed their previous 9 shots, Holloway takes a bump here by Innocente, who's just checked into the game for Mark Few at the 13:27 mark of the half.
And this is where the game has changed. Bigs that have the ability to play in space, puts the ball on the floor there, Huff. Beautiful spin. No help coming from that strong side by the guards from Alabama, and he's able to get all the way to the rim.
You guys didn't have bigs who could do that back in your day?
I had a Larry Johnson that could do it, but he wasn't, he was a small forward. But generally, that's one of the evolutions of our game. You're seeing it today with so many of the bigs that can play 25, 28 feet from the basket. Really stresses your defense because you've got to be able to guard out there. That's an unforced turnover. Holloway saying it was deflected. I don't think it was. Holloway's got to come closer. You got to create a better angle for that baseline entry pass. Remember, the passer cannot move on that baseline, so it's up to the player inbounds to create the better angle.
Braden Smith has checked in for Mark Few, redshirt junior, Seattle kid. Mark Few telling us before the game, look, I got 11 guys who can play. Paring down his rotation is going to be a challenge. Huff continues.
Yeah, that's the kind of offensive possession Mark Few wants. Moving that ball from strong to weak, shifting the defense, and then a nice post entry there for the attack.
Jared, what do you got?
Guys, Braden Huff already has started more games this season as Alabama fires and misses on a 3. He started more games than the last 2 years at Gonzaga. Huff telling me that his redshirt season was pivotal to his growth. That season he got to watch and sit next to Drew Timme, who just signed a deal with the Lakers. And Coach Few said he really grew mentally and physically a lot tougher.
Yeah, you just consider the bigs that Mark Few has had, guys who've had impact now on these players coming up. And the program, the perennial contending teams that he's had, the camaraderie, the skill, it's just all part of the culture that everyone has tried to emulate with those mid-majors around the country.
Yeah, it's a great point. And the other thing is his guys tend to be in the program for multiple years. That is such an advantage. They were able to not only learn from the guys prior, but then they're able to then pass a lot of that experience on. It helps to build bonds. There's more certainty and understanding of who we are as a team, and that's one reason why he's just had so much tremendous success over his tenure there with the Zags.
And Greg, we shouldn't even call him a mid-major anymore. No. They are a perennial championship contending team with what he has built. 27th season at Gonzaga. And by the way, our condolences to Mark Few. Just lost his mom 8 days ago.
To hear. 92, he said she had an incredible life. Very blessed to have lived that long and see all the success her son has been able to orchestrate.
Shot clock at 13 seconds. This is Jalen Warley in tight and a little floater. As the Bulldogs showing now some of their depth as Warley, the double transfer, last stop Virginia, gets his first basket.
He talks about it. He says they can play 10 deep comfortably. You don't see it a lot in today's college game, but he has got the personnel to do it.
This is Philon, but there isn't a spot on the floor that he can't get to. Philon GA, 7 of their first 15 points.
Yeah, and he does, you think about the three-point shot. He does the majority of his damage in the paint. One of the top 5 or 6 in the country in points in the paint from that guard position.
This is Huff. Everyone taking their turns. Bo Bowen outside. This is Ventners. On the deck, Innocente. Boy, beautiful pull-up. Stuck his foot on the floor. And beautiful elevation on that mid-range J.
Yeah, that was a terrific shot. And you can see the defense has been actually really good. And they're going to count that with the continuation with Holloway on the attack.
Remember, this is one of the new points of emphasis, the continuation. And they're going to give them the basket. Mark Few and that Gonzaga staff can't believe it, as we're going to get a timeout on the floor. Good one here in Vegas. 2-point lead for the Crimson Tide on TNT.
For the acute treatment of migraine with or without aura in adults, Nurtec ODT can provide relief in 2 hours, which can last up to 2 days. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT. Allergic reactions can occur even days after use. Get help right away for trouble breathing, rash, swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or throat. High blood pressure and Raynaud's syndrome can occur. Get help for high blood pressure, numbness, coolness, pain, or color changes in fingers and toes. Common side effect is nausea. Ask your doctor about Nurtec ODT.
Thought they were out of style, huh? Well, check their new game day fit. Oh, snap! DirecTV got hot.
That's right. DirecTV is flexing with all those pro and college games at your fingertips. This ain't your dad's cable, son. It's couture.
Thank you. I got this. Catching your favorite teams is easy. Whether it's on live TV or streaming, your games are front and center.
We're talking tailor fit. DirecTV ain't playing.
They're playing football.
Well, yeah, obviously they're playing football, but they knew what I was talking about.
DirecTV now includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited.
This is a true story. 17 kids walked outside, and they never came back.
The holiday season is here, and CNN Underscored is your VIP pass to unique gifts at the best prices.
All right, Jillian, how do they feel?
Yeah, they're really comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Shop holiday gifting now at underscored.com.
We're gonna need more rims. Dunkman's no joke. I've assembled the best dunkers in the world, each ready to throw down for the title. But only one can walk away with the trophy. Oh my goodness! This, there we go, is, how about that, Dunkman.
Back with you in Vegas as we take a little peek at our Geico assist leaderboard. LeBaron Philon, one of the elite, versatile players, offensive certainly. Look at what he's done in terms of assists per game. He's on to a torrid scoring start, but everything he's done also, GA, as a distributor of the basketball.
Yeah, and the other aspect of it is his presence. You know, the improvement as a passer. He's always in attack mode. We talked about one of the best in the country at scoring, and the activity with the quick hands and deflections. He is a 3-level scorer, and his decision-making continues to improve as well. One reason why there's tremendous optimism for what this Alabama team can do.
If you've just hopped on with us, you missed the report at the top from Jared with the injury absence of Latrell Wrightsell Jr., right leg injury. Expected to miss the rest of this tournament. Hopeful that it won't be more than a week or two for a team that has legitimate championship aspirations. Venter's 3 won't go, so Gonzaga cools off after a fun little couple of minutes. Deep 3 from Holloway. And Gonzaga has been sensational on the glass.
Well, the strength of those, and this is where they want to play fast, but I feel like at times maybe they played a little too fast. They have not had the patience, and some of that is adjusting to the speed and the physicality of Alabama. You talked about at the top, they haven't quite yet played the same level of competition that we've seen with Alabama, and you need to adjust to that through the course of the game.
Gonzaga, some of that defense that Mark Few touched on in our chat with him pregame. But the Bulldogs cough it up right back. Philon, good ball movement into the corner. That's a 3. Amari Allen. Offensive rebound and a putback. It's Bristow. Again, keep your eyes on this kid. Sophomore, missed those 3 games with the ankle injuries, but expected to be a big piece for Nate Oates and this team this season.
It's the activity and energy with which he plays. It's contagious, and it really does elevate this group.
Alabama 28-9 last year, 13 wins. They finished 3rd in the SEC gauntlet. Followed up that Final Four run 2 years ago with a 2nd straight trip to the Elite 8. #1 scoring team in the country yet again under Nate Oates. And my goodness, how they have retooled again. Obviously, they lose their All-American Mark Sears. But LeBaron Philon and some of these other players stepping into that void as they try to get their record of 4-1 early season. Into the corner, this is Venters. So he's missed on a couple of three-point looks early. Fight for the rebound. It's tracked down by Grant Foster. As we pass the midway point, Venters from deep. Got it!
I will say those last 2 threes were terrific looks. They were in rhythm and off of great passing and spacing.
But a beautiful answer. Aiden Holloway, little floater in the paint. And Alabama's lead now back to 5. 7 points for Holloway. Number 2 scorer behind Philon at better than 17 per game. Here comes Grant Foster coming diagonally across the paint. And he's got a chance at 3.
Yeah, I tell you what, Grant Foster needed that one. Had some struggle earlier in this game. At that time with a nice attack. And you see here, great find there. You see the spacing he had because Alabama was caught in rotation. With this one, he was going to pass that, heard the whistle, and then just throws it up at the rim for the deuce.
So Tyon Grant Foster, graduate transfer, 4 different schools, most recently at Grand Canyon, last 2 years there. Brief stop with DePaul a couple of years ago with Kansas. All-conference performer at Grand Canyon last season. Guy who certainly adds some versatility and depth to this squad that Mark Hughes put together. As we cross the 9-minute mark before halftime. GA, we expected this thing to be tight and physical. These 2 teams haven't disappointed yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the point of attack defense has been terrific on both sides of the ball. There, though, Smith falls asleep. And then a terrific find by Sherrell. Anytime your bigs can put the ball on the floor in those situations and allow the guards to play off the ball, beautiful backdoor cut there by Philon. And you can see they just get caught watching the ball, and that beautiful backdoor cut there and finish.
Boy, how about the big man, the vision, some of this passing ability that Sherrell has shown. The Detroit native that'll get our buddy Jalen Rose excited.
C-Web as well.
Some of that Motown love, that's right. We got a lot of Detroit flavor here in Vegas. EK, the spin, boy, a thing of beauty.
Yeah, he has it, and that's an example of you adjusting to the size and the physicality, because earlier in the game, EK didn't have a feel for how to attack the defense there, and now Gonzaga is starting to get comfortable defensively here, forcing the turnover.
Here comes the Spanish national, EK. So Graham EK missed his first 6 shots. He's hit back-to-back.
And that exact pass, that post pitch and post feed there that led to the deuce was something that Coach Oates was worried about, because this is more of a traditional offense for Gonzaga. They're going to look to post their bigs consistently.
Boy, tremendous defense by Venters, but Amari Allen somehow able to go glass.
This is a high-level battle right now, partner. These 2 teams are competing, physical on both sides, nothing coming easy.
EK, excellent, bothersome defense as Davion Hanna trying to collapse down. And Gonzaga's going to have the basketball, but when we come back, a couple of heavyweight teams on the big stage in Vegas, Gonzaga and Alabama. You're watching the Geico Players Era Tournament on TNT.
Let's go, boys.
One thing I've noticed about football fans is they all talk like the players can actually hear them.
Proud of you. Looking good. Keep it up.
But when you have Geico Insurance, you'll always be heard. They have top-notch customer service with people who really care.
There you go. That's how you run inside zone.
Anything for you, bud.
Cool. Could you pass the ball?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just pass the ball.
Yeah, just pass.
Okay.
Pass it.
Right.
It feels good to be heard. It feels good to Geico.
Oh, I gotta come clean. I don't get football.
What?
Why do they score by 7?
6.
And the kicker is so little. I worry about him.
Do you even like my nachos?
I love your nachos, man.
Cottonelle leaves you so clean, you'll want to come clean about everything else.
Fanapt iloperidone is approved for adults with bipolar 1 disorder with acute, mixed, or manic episodes. Unlike some drugs for bipolar 1 disorder, nausea, vomiting, and restlessness are not common with Fanapt. Fanapt may be associated with serious side effects. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis treated with antipsychotics are at increased risk of stroke or death. Fanapt is not approved for elderly with dementia-related psychosis. Fanapt prolongs the QT interval and may be associated with abnormal heart rhythm or sudden death. In 5% or more of people in clinical trials, heart rate increases, dizziness, hypotension, weight gain, dry mouth, stuffy nose, sleepiness, and increases in liver enzymes have been observed. These are not all the side effects. Talk to your prescriber and learn more at fanapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Ashley's biggest sale of the year gets even better this week. Shop Black Friday doorbusters starting at just $1.99. Save up to $1,000 on your entire purchase, or get 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. This week only at Ashley.
And we welcome you back to the Geico Players Era Day 1 coverage on TNT, presented by Sam's Club. And this is the piece of hardware that these teams are playing for here in Vegas. Not to mention a fistful of cash as well that they'll be bringing back to their respective schools.
It is a nice trophy, but I like the cash a little bit more. But it is a pretty trophy.
How does it feel to be back in your old stomping grounds?
Oh, it feels good, man. Got to see a few of my old teammates, and so that part's been nice. And just to be a part of it, I'll tell you what, we worked it last year. I was in the studio, 18. What they've been able to do with this Pro Era tournament, this is impressive, man. High-level competition. Everybody who's been a part of it's having a blast. This thing has got some heavyweight power behind it. I mean, I just feel blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, this feels like it has become now the premier early season tournament.
Without a doubt.
Taking some of the old tournaments that we've seen over the years. All of the heavy hitters are here in Vegas, or at least a lot of them. 3-point Alabama lead. So Gonzaga went during that stretch where they missed 9 straight shots. Since then, they've hit 7 of their last 9. And EK starting to cook.
Yeah, he's got the feel now for how to attack. And you're going to see an adjustment where Alabama's going to start doubling down on. They're not going to allow him to work in space one-on-one. He is just too crafty and too skilled.
So Graham EK, all first team in the WCC last couple of years, starting to catch fire. He has hit the last 6 for the Bulldogs, as Grant Foster is hit with his first personal.
If you notice it, you can't allow a guy that good take 2 or 3 dribbles and get to a sweet spot. He's just too talented. You have got to disrupt that with help defense, attacking that basketball. And I guarantee you they don't make that adjustment as this game progresses.
Men's and women's titles are on the line in one of college basketball's boldest events. Coverage of the Geico Players Era Tournament Championship continues on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. So Mari Allen, the Green Bay, Wisconsin native, freshman, already SEC Freshman of the Week. One of the newcomers on this Nate Oates-led program. And already thrust into a significant role as one of the new pieces. Miller coming around a screen, catch and shoot, top of the circle. So that cold 3-point shooting for the Bulldogs continues. They're now 2 of 9 GA from deep.
Yeah, and the question, though, they're not knocking them down, but they're creating quality looks here, and that's the most important thing. And how about that off-balance finish off the attack by Bo Bowen?
The Florida State transfer showing some of his interior abilities. As we come up on the 6-minute mark, this is Saint Subidi working on the perimeter. Sherrell got caught. Little mismatch on a switch, and that's going to be his first personal.
Here, Bo Bowen, just a nice attack. You can see there's some contact there, no question. He wanted the foul, but how about that ability to gather and still finish through that contact?
5th team foul against the Crimson Tide, so they got 1 more to give. What a matchup here. EK against Sherrell. He's going to pop it and stick it.
He is just slow rolling him out there. He's got what we call an old school game. You know, he doesn't play above the rim. And how about defensively on the attack there? Gonzaga get down the open floor.
Here comes Worley. Look at Holloway, the strip off of the leg. Boy, a defensive gem. Aiden Holloway with a clean strip to get Worley on the drive.
Yeah, it was just great time in there. You can see it off that left knee there. Great job of timing that up. And if you're Worley in a situation like that, you've got to put that ball on that left hip. So when he swipes, he's got to swipe across your body. And it'll give you an opportunity to finish.
He'll learn some of those tricks you learned.
Yeah.
So we cross the 6-minute mark before halftime. Nate Oates wasted no more time. He comes back in with his star, sophomore LeBaron Fallon, who, by the way, is celebrating his birthday today. Fallon trying to get himself down to the box. Reset Holloway. 10 on the timer. Poked away. Grant Foster. 7 to shoot. Boy, that was close.
We talked a lot about Fallon and how impressive he is, but also Holloway, terrific with his ability to get downhill as well.
Now the officials, GA, are going to go to the table. We're going to get a coach's challenge here. Officials are going to take a look at the monitor here. One of the new additions, coach's challenge to college basketball this season. I'll tell you, from that vantage point, it did look like it was the right leg of Grant Foster.
Yeah, it definitely went off his foot initially. And the question is, did it after that initial contact then hit Holloway?
How do you feel about the coach's challenge?
I like it. I think it's really good for the game. Listen, in the way the college game is played, much like the NBA, there's no way the officials are going to get all the calls. They're going to miss some, and you don't want to be punished for an official missing a call. I don't want it to get to a point where you've got infinite, which they don't, obviously, and I think what they do is really good. I wish we could find a way to maybe speed it up. We can see there, looks like it was off the foot. I mean, they must have felt, yeah, I thought it right there, it went off of his right toe. Clearly right there, and I don't see that it touches unless it, yeah, you can see the ball change direction. The question is, did it hit Holloway's right shin there? I couldn't tell from that angle.
Really good veteran crew, headlined by Don Daly, Greg Nixon, Edwin Young. Looks like Don Daly has seen enough. And I believe call on the floor will stand. There will be Gonzaga basketball, or Alabama ball, beg your pardon. So the coach's challenge unsuccessful for Mark Few as he gets an explanation from Don Daly. So they are charged a timeout, and he now loses, doesn't have another coach's challenge. So it'll be interesting to see how coaches use that. Do you save it for an end of game situation, GA, as everyone gets used to that new wrinkle? Deep three, Holloway wouldn't go, and the rebound pulled by Saint Supiti. Here comes the young Spanish national. Coming with some nasty.
My apologies. I said the big fella likes to play below the rim.
I think GA is reassessing his scouting report. EK has hit his last 10 for the Bulldogs, but Alabama with the answer. It's Sherrell.
And just the quickness with which Alabama gets the ball right back in play, even after a make.
Really crisp Gonzaga ball movement continues. Corner three won't go from Grant Foster. And Gonzaga now 2 of 10 from the three-point line. This is Holloway, finds his spot. Three-pointer rims out. Bulldogs looking to push. 3-on-2. Grant Foster just kind of lost his balance. Alabama doesn't have numbers, so Holloway pulls out, resets. As we come up on the 4-minute mark left before halftime, Alabama and Gonzaga. Holloway, blocked. Grant Foster, terrific perimeter defense. Saint Supini, and he's fouled. It was Bo Bowen who got him in the back. And I believe they're going to get him at the free throw line for 3 attempts.
You know, we're in Vegas, and the big fella, Ike, they're just in attack mode, not to be denied. And even though they've had their struggles at times, shooting the 3, clearly their contact on that triple.
Great look for from our talented crew here at TNT, bringing you all of these fabulous pictures. MGM Grand Garden Arena, as Mario Saint Supini, freshman from Malaga, Spain, getting to the free throw line for 3 attempts. TNT Sports coverage of the Players Era is brought to you by Lilly, a medicine company. And by Geico. It feels good to Geico. So great to have you with us. Downtown Las Vegas, Spiro Thetis, Greg Anthony, Jared Greenberg, our producer Dan Keener, Mark Vittorio, our director, rest of our TNT crew. Day 1 of the Players Era Championship.
Had some really good games to start. I tell you what, that Houston-Syracuse game that preceded ours was quite a finish there down the stretch. Syracuse showing the country that they may be back.
And we got another Anthony doing his thing for Syracuse. Knocked out of bounds as Gonzaga was showing their chops on the offensive glass. Relentless so far in this first half.
Yeah, they do a great job. And Mark, you talked about it from a defensive standpoint. This is a physical group. They've got what I call great ball instincts. They get a lot of deflections. Their point of attack defense is terrific. And he said, you know, with their depth, it allows them to have such great practices. And that is such an advantage when you're trying to build that competitive spirit.
This is Huff, little drop stepper. How good has he been in his first half? First lead for Gonzaga since the early minutes. And the contingent that's made the trek from Spokane up out of their seats. Phylon buries it from deep.
What a response there by Phylon. He's been a little quiet here the last few minutes, but their leading scorer, he's going to have to put his imprint on this game.
But both of these coaches knew that their players would be tested. And neither team is back down. What a performance so far by both sides. Foul charged against Alabama. That's going to put Gonzaga in the bonus 1-1 when we come back.
Off there, nice attack with the finish in traffic, and Phylon right back at you.
This little light of mine has been dark for quite some time. Then I let in the light to help see more of the light inside of me.
I needed more from my antidepressant, so my doctor added Caplyta, proven to provide greater relief from depression symptoms than an antidepressant alone, building on my progress without starting over. Weight gain and reported sexual side effects were not common.
Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Caplyta is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Call your doctor about new or sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks. Report fever, confusion, stiff muscles, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High cholesterol and weight gain may occur, as can high blood sugar, which may be fatal. Common side effects are sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, dry mouth, feeling tired, and diarrhea. These aren't all the side effects.
Ask your doctor about Caplyta.
Help see more of the light inside of me.
Introducing Black Friday Game Day, a full day of epic matchups with the return of Black Friday football when the Bears take on the Eagles. Touchdown! Then the Emirates NBA Cup heats up in a doubleheader with Bucks Knicks and Mavs Lakers. It all tees off when 4 elite PGA Tour players face off in the Skins game. Black Friday Game Day starts this Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern with NFL kickoff at 3 p.m. only on Prime.
Say yes to this ride-on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club Roadside Assistance. Yeah, hi, I'm on the corner of Pants and Pork Rinds. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to Sam's Club's baked goods and to custom frosting.
Here you go, Chris.
I love it, it's perfect. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
Cheer on your favorite college basketball teams with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com today as we go back over to Jared Greenberg.
Guys, Nate Oates is a self-proclaimed high school coach who caught a break. But not sure there's another college program in the nation that has done a better job of modeling itself after NBA teams than Alabama. From how they practice to what they focus on. This offseason, Coach Oates traveled the country trying to learn from the best. He spent 3 days with Joe Mazzulla in the Celtics. Then he was off to Phoenix, followed by a couple of days with the champs, Oklahoma City, picking the brain of Mark Daigneault before finishing his NBA tour with Quinn Snyder and the Hawks. But what does Oates focus on that separates his program from others? Well, he told me that it's taking the joystick off the offense. Oates doesn't want to overcoach his team. GA, he told me that if Alabama is playing up to its potential, his goal is not to call a play over the first 36 minutes of the game.
And Jared, that's a great point because, and I say this often about coaching, the best coaches know how to coach greatness, which is actually not coaching. Because great players, when you empower them and allow them and give them ownership, they're going to be able to make decisions far quicker than you can call plays. And oftentimes when you want to play fast, you don't have time to run sets. You want to read and react. We've seen that success with UConn. Nate Oates does a terrific job. And you're seeing it also with Mark Few. That's been an evolution for him. He's changed philosophically in how he's approaching it. And I think it's a better brand of basketball.
It's just amazing what he's built. Even Mark Few, in our conversation with him earlier tonight, so much admiration for what Nate Oates has built with this Alabama team. Even his previous stops, that crisp ball movement from the Zags continues. What a half Braden Huff is putting together for Mark Few.
And that was made off the play by Graham Ike, though. They're going to get a travel on Sherrell. But Ike's ability to dominate his matchup, it put Alabama in rotation, and they didn't have good defensive floor balance there. And just a great read by Ike on that baseline drop-off for Huff.
Everyone in the Spokane GA excited about this Gonzaga team and its potential, but early season, you don't know if you're ready for this kind of a test. They've only faced one ranked team prior to today.
And
what a performance so far.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they only brought back 4 returners from last season. They lost a lot of firepower. You would not know it with how this group has played together and the depth and maturity that they have.
But beautiful movement. Venters on a 3, kept alive. That was Huff on a tap out. Such a smart play as we hit the 2-minute mark. Huff puts it on the deck to the rack and the finish.
And how about that 1-2 combo with Huff and Ike? They play so well off of one another. And again, that offensive rebounding, a concern for Nate Oates and a strength of Gonzaga.
LeBaron Philon sensing the moment. His team needs a play, and he's going to get himself to the free throw line. But Huff now, GA, with 10 points.
But look at that seal there also by Ike, though. It allows for that attack. Sherrell doesn't want to take a body off him, and Huff understands that. And that's that 1-2 big combination, more of a traditional style that the Zags can implement, paying dividends here in this first half.
Reminder coming up on the Medela halftime report. Our fabulous crew in studio on site. Get you caught up on all the day's action. Adam Lefkoe, Bruce Pearl, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber. And they are standing by. I have to be pleased and impressed with what they've seen from these two teams, championship hopefuls, as Philon goes 1 of 2 at the line.
High-level basketball being played in this game. On both ends. Both teams have had stretches. They're going to get a Huff there for a travel. Officials say he gathered and then took the steps.
Maybe the first mistake that Huff has made in what has been a brilliant first half.
Yeah, he took one extra step there once he had already gathered the basketball.
So we hit the final 90 seconds of the half. Sherrill, this is Bristow, errant pass, and the officials are going to get a reach-in foul against Phylon. 1-and-1 bonus situation for the Bulldogs.
I tell you what, though, partner, that's EK again. A little earlier in that, his ability as a help defender to cut off the baseline drive and then just poor spacing by Alabama, thinking that they were already set. Bristow there just thought Phylon was further over on that sideline than he was, and unforced turnover.
So Mario Saint-Supidi at the free throw line, 1-and-1. Mark Few making a substitution. Davis Fogel, freshman that Few likes a lot, checks in for the first time, making his 4th appearance early season for this Gonzaga outfit.
I talked earlier, Spiro, about Gonzaga had to adjust to the speed that Alabama played with. They've done that. Now Alabama's going to have to make the adjustment, especially defensively, of how they're going to guard the half court of Gonzaga, because they are not doing a good job with their containment of the bigs. EK and Huff both having a huge impact.
Phylon sets the stage for Allen, and he bangs in a 3.
And that's what, if you're Phylon, he's going to have to do a little bit more creating. I'd like to see the ball in his hands a little bit more here in the second half.
Look at that drop step and setup. EK to Huff. How about that two-man tandem on the front line for the Bulldogs?
And I love the footwork there by EK on the attack.
Phylon's going to get him reset. Working against Saint-Supidi. Excellent defense, didn't bite. As we are now down to 38 seconds. Allen into the paint. This is Millette. 7 to shoot. Allen. Bottled up by Huff. Boy, just sensational defense. And then it's Sherrill. Boy, tough break for the Bulldogs as Don Daly blows the whistle here.
If that basket was made before the shot clock. I think it did get off in time. I thought he was able to gather and get that up. Yep, clearly gets it off in time there.
Yeah, this is one of the instances where officials can go to the monitor on their own accord without a coach's challenge. Inside of 2 minutes, 23.6. But what a game this has been. 7 ties, 8 lead changes, 23.6 left. Don Daly and the crew looking at the pictures there courtside. And both coaches using this as an opportunity to get their two teams set for the final 23 and change.
Yeah, it has been an impressive game. Both teams really kind of playing to their strengths, right? We knew the front line would be a big factor for Gonzaga. That's been a strength of theirs all season. And for Alabama, their pace and their space. Now, can they make the adjustment defensively, because Huff and EK have owned the interior.
So the basket is confirmed. It counts. And we are tied at 42. Points in the paint have been even, 26 apiece. But both teams struggling from the three-point line. Gonzaga 2 of 11 and Alabama 3 for 14. 10 seconds. Huff outside. Venters from deep. Got it. Nate Oates is going to take a timeout. And Venters trying to get this Gonzaga three-point shooting game off the ground here in Vegas.
Surprised that they decided to run the trap and try to get the ball out of his hands. And again, the spacing. Look how great the spacing is. Once that ball gets into the interior, it puts you in rotation, and just a great read by Huff to get it out to the shooter. Venters there to knock down the triple.
Officials, we've been told, are looking to see where they're going to set the clock here, if they're going to add any more time. 4.4 right now showing as Gonzaga retakes the lead. Steel Venters, another Washington product, graduate transfer from Eastern Washington. So now they're going to put 5 seconds even on the clock. And that's going to give Nate Oates' bunch a little bit more time.
Yeah, that's plenty of time to advance it and create a good look. What you'd love to do is to be able to get it in your ball handler's hands, whether it be Holloway or Fallon, where they're going downhill. You want them to be going towards their basket with some momentum to create a good look here.
For Nate Oates just transforming this Alabama program. 6 years since he's taken over, 8th most wins of any program in the country. Most of any SEC team. What does the future hold in store for this Crimson Tide team? Here comes Fallon, his star, little Euro step, clean look, and that gets us to halftime. For a couple of players down, it's Grant Foster for Gonzaga and Houston Millette for Alabama, and they are both still on the floor. Looked like Millette was undercut inadvertently as Grant Foster hit the deck. So thankfully, looks like Millette is okay. And Grant Foster finally gets to his feet. Got a sigh of relief from both of these two teams.
Alabama had to be happy with the attack. You can see right there, he just a little incidental contact, but fortunately both are going to be okay after what was an impressive first half.
Couple of heavyweights here in Vegas, and right now Gonzaga taking a 45-42 lead into the halftime locker room. After the break, Adam Lefkoe, Bruce Pearl, Jalen Rose, and Chris Webber in the studio with the Modelo halftime report on TNT. And the party continues from the Geico Players Era Tournament on TNT. Bright lights of Sin City. What a scene this has been. What a game this has been. A couple of top 15 teams, Gonzaga and Alabama, with the Bulldogs holding a 3-point halftime lead. Our Geico game summary till this point. Shooting numbers. Gonzaga, that 0-9 shooting stretch, but it started really strongly to the half. And both teams right now struggling with their 3-point shots. As we welcome you courtside here in Vegas, Spiro Adidas and Greg Anthony. We'll hear from Jared in just a couple of minutes. GA, give us your first half thoughts. Really entertaining first half.
Yeah, really impressive. Both teams kind of playing to their strengths. You knew that Gonzaga was going to attack that offensive glass, and that dynamic duo of Huff and Ike have been the difference. They have just been dominant in the paint for Gonzaga. If you're Nate Oates, they got to figure out a way to get the ball out of their hands, and they need more in transition. That's something that you give Gonzaga credit. They were able to keep Alabama from having a lot of success in transition, and that's going to have to change, because I feel like both teams will shoot the three a little bit better in this second half.
Jared, I understand you spoke to both teams.
I did. Brian Michelson, the assistant head coach for Gonzaga, said, listen, we just got to keep going, protect the rim. Greg mentioned those turnovers. Michelson said, that's just not us. We got to make great decisions with the basketball. As far as Nate Oates and Alabama, he said, we had self-inflicted wounds, and the biggest key, none of our guards got a defensive rebound in that half. They're okay with how Ike made some tough baskets. They just got to make better decisions on who they double off of, GA.
It's a great call, and that's the part of the issue with the doubling, is that's where the offensive rebounding can come, because now you're asking those guards to have to block down on bigs, and Gonzaga physical, and they know they need to attack the offensive glass.
That's all well and good. I just want to talk about Jared's pinstripe three-piece suit.
He brought it, didn't he? He brought it.
Bringing his A game to Vegas.
I can't wait to see what he brings tomorrow.
It's a tough act to follow. There's LeBaron Fallon, shot clock at 8 against Ike. What a matchup. Couple of elite players. Fallon showing you what he's got in his toolbox. He's got 15.
That was a tough shot by Fallon, but he's going to have to continue to create offense, especially late in the shot clock.
There's a corner pocket three. Won't go from Grant Foster. And last touch that abound by Alabama. Another look at that fine line turnaround mid-range bucket.
Yeah, and this is a possession where both teams will be happy because Ike does a great job moving his feet, able to get a decent contest. That's what we call good defense, just better offense. You see the adjustment here on this matchup.
Ike, see the double team coming. Ike, that's a tough fadeaway shot. Grant Foster, they continue to pummel the offensive glass.
And that shot, it was a tough shot, but it was poor spacing. Gonzaga didn't feel the top there and give Ike an outlet, but they were able to hurt him on that offensive glass.
Offensive rebounding numbers so far, 13-6, favoring the Bulldogs. Miller in tight, and he's going to shoot free throws. Not only the offensive rebound, second chance points favoring Gonzaga, 15-7 in that department. And they got a chance to build on their lead.
So just a great job, the kick ahead there. Nice find on that rim attack to get to the free throw line.
So this Gonzaga team that enters the night perfect, 5-0. Second ranked opponent that they are facing early part of the season. Remember, they beat number 23 Creighton. They won that game by almost 30 points. Average margin of victory, GA, to the first 5 games, 36. But everyone in Spokane know that this would be different tonight. And I have to say, so far, they have looked really impressive at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, no question, because again, Creighton's typically always going to be a good team. That was an impressive win. But you knew Alabama with the schedule they played, right? Purdue, St. John's, and Illinois. They were battle tested, and they wouldn't be uncomfortable with what Gonzaga brought. But it's been the depth, the physicality, and the patience by Gonzaga. They have stayed with their game plan. They haven't gotten out of character. They're going to get an off-ball foul here against Gonzaga.
Greg Nixon making the call as the foul charge to tie on Grant Foster. That'll be his second personal. That beautiful mind of Nate Oates. He's your kind of coach. Super into the analytics. All about the number of possessions.
And where the shots come from. They want you taking threes and shots in the paint. That they really feel like the ball's got to get into the paint because that's where you compromise the defense and put them in rotation.
Here comes Fine Line trying to find a crease, up and under, just brilliant.
I'll tell you what, Ike got away with a foul on the arm there, but great finish there through the contact by Phelan.
Here comes Grant Foster up between two. That's a tough shot, and he rips it back. Boy, Grant Foster getting into the weight room.
They have just been relentless on that offensive glass. Alabama. And you heard Coach Oates and the staff talk to Jared about this. Their guards have got to double back down and get to the backcourt. You've got to rebound if you're Alabama at the guard position. And Phelan continues to will his team here early in the second.
Well, right now, LeBaron Fine Line is putting the Crimson Tide on his back, sensing that his team needs a push and a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, that was a really tough finish there. And a good screen by Sherrill to create just enough space for the savvy sophomore to get the deuce.
Obviously, Fine Line GA is off to a terrific start, 20 points per game through the first couple of weeks of the season. But we asked Nate Oates about him, and he said the one thing for him is, can he take the next step as a leader? Can he be the real vocal guy to lead this team? Obviously, they lose Mark Sears, the All-American. And so far, it has been just a gorgeous, brilliant start to the season for Fine Line as Miller gets him a deuce in tight.
The one concern, though, right now, there's a lot of one-on-one for Alabama. The ball's not moving. They're allowing Gonzaga to load to their defense. And while they've made some shots, the degree of difficulty on those shots, hard to sustain that over the course of 20 minutes.
Foul charge to Adam Miller, his second. So just under 3 minutes gone by. Beautiful cut to the rim by Millette. Miller was there. Have to be impressed with this Bulldogs defense.
Sparrow, we talked about it at the top. They bring a level of physicality and point of attack defense that arguably as good as Mark Few has had since he's been there. This group, they are dogs. They get after it on that side of the ball. They are connected, and boy, are they relentless.
This is Holloway, struggled so far. If you've just hopped on with us, he's 2 of 9 from the field so far. This is Bristow, that's a travel.
But you see what I mean about that. There's not a lot of ball movement. There's a one-on-one attack, and either you get something, and if you don't, and you're almost like a reluctant passer. By the time you've given it up, you've allowed the defense to reset. And so that lack of ball movement right now is becoming a bit of an issue for Alabama.
Gonzaga Bulldogs, number 12 team in the country against number 8 Alabama. This is EK, one of the elite front court players in the country, working against Sherrell. Soft touch, fight on the glass. Huff with a rip. Possession arrow is going to keep it here. Gonzaga will maintain possession. And the Crimson Tide just can't keep them off the offensive board.
Well, but you see, there's 2 on ball. And then when you go weak side, you're oftentimes going to have guards having to try to keep those bigs off the rim. And it's going to be a concern. And a lot of that does start, though, when you don't have the ability to guard at that point of attack with EK. They've got to overload defensively, and that compromises your defense.
Chess match between these two terrific coaches, Mark Few, Nate Oates. Grant Foster, first year in the program. Boy, you think they're happy to have him in Spokane?
He was a little shaky early, but boy, he has been getting after it. And then defensively, look how these guys, look how they move their feet and attack the basketball defensively.
Fine line into the corner. This is Noah Williamson on a 3, the Patriot League Player of the Year last year at Bucknell. Unable to convert. Huff barreling to the rack.
And the momentum right now with Gonzaga. They are up in the ante defensively. Alabama's got to figure out a way to create some offense.
LeBaron Philon. Just when the Crimson Tide needed a bucket, their star delivers.
They're just going to need someone other than Philon to create some opportunities on the offensive end.
And right now, Gonzaga starting to flex. Adam Miller with a deep shot. Philon has been the lone source of offense for Alabama in the half. Williamson on the glass, reset, Philon from deep. So Alabama now 4 for 17 from the 3-point strike. Here comes Saint Supiti. Errant pass taken to the corner by Allen. Ahead of the pick, Bristow.
And sometimes you just need that. Live ball turnover leads to that transition finish. Let's see if that can elevate the defensive intensity here from Alabama.
Here comes Miller into the corner. They get it to Grant Foster. Sealed off in the baseline by Allen. He's going to reset. Now he's going to step back and pull. A little bit too much. Long rebound. Holloway. They've got numbers. Holloway to blazing speed. Boy, they got a piece of fingertip on it in tight. Miller looking to push 2-on-2 Euro step. Missed it. And it's a frenetic pace back and forth. Holloway. Grant Foster the block. Boy, just incredible defense by Grant Foster. We got bodies flying all over the place.
We talked about it. We had the F1 race here not too long ago. These are two teams that like to speed up and down the court. And how about the block there? They stay with it. A foul has been called. Gonzaga now seizing control.
Say yes to this cookware set and to a delicious pre-made holiday feast for those of us too busy to cook. I'm gonna need all the mac and cheese.
How many are you hosting?
Just me, just me. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
Liberty Mutual customizes.
Wait, am I in one of those Liberty Mutual commercials where they stand in front of the Statue of Liberty and talk about how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Yes.
What happens in this one?
Seagulls.
Oh, I like it. How are you doing?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Ooh, I need to come clean. I don't remember algebra. Are they letters? Are they numbers? Pick one, algebra. I'm getting an A.
Cottonelle leaves you so clean, you'll want to come clean about everything else.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You've earned this, so hold it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Tired of sifting through jobs that don't feel like the right fit? Introducing Indeed Career Scout. Find the job that's right for you.
This holiday season, deck your halls with mayhem. Christmas Maximus, all season long, only on TNT.
And we welcome you back to Las Vegas as we continue Geico Players Era Day 1 coverage. TNT presented by Sam's Club. As Gonzaga right now starting to put some space between them and the Crimson Tide, up 7 as we take a look at our Sam's Club play of the game.
You know, it's not always the size of the dog in the fight. Oftentimes it's the size of the fight in the dog, and the Bulldogs have been dominating on that offensive glass, taking advantage of the strength of their team, one of them, and it's really also been the Achilles heel at times for Alabama, and Gonzaga has been relentless at that category.
Meantime, if you're Nate Oates, LeBaron Feinlaw and GA has scored 9 of Alabama's 11 points since halftime. How do you get it going for now for some of your other players?
Well, they haven't had the impact from Holloway. He's only 2 of 11, 0 of 6 from 3, and those you see there he's having some issues health-wise, but those are the 2 guys that kind of set the tone, and everybody else kind of feeds off of them. Now, though, they're going to have to find a way to create some opportunities. Oftentimes, it's with your defense. And I will say, if you can start to figure out a way to control the defensive backboard, their first line of defense hasn't been bad. It's just the inability to control the defensive backboard.
So a game that they're already playing without Latrell Wrightsell. Right now, Holloway is on the bench. Looks like he may be bleeding from his right arm. Jared Greenberg is hovering. He'll get us an update, I'm sure, here quickly as the Crimson Tide come up empty on that trip. 7-point Gonzaga lead. This is Huff doing his dance. Bristow trying to rip it. Huff sticking with it. Missed. Excellent interior defense from Bristow.
Yeah, that was a great job on that side of the ball.
Here comes Feinlaw to the cup, and he's going to shoot free throws. So let's go back and take a look at what happened to Holloway. Looks like he's going to check back into the game here momentarily. Grant Foster got him on that follow, and then that whack from Miller, who was whistled for the foul just prior to that last timeout. So it looks like he's okay. And Holloway, now seated with his teammates, was about to walk to the table. And as Feinlaw hits on the first. TNT Sports is your new home for Big East basketball. Watch Xavier take on St. Francis December the 1st at 7 Eastern on True TV and streaming on HBO Max.
This is one area where Fallon, who has been terrific to start the season, but free throw shooting a bit of a concern here. Only 1 of 4, now 2 of 5 here from the line.
Preseason first team All-SEC Bob Cousy Award watch list. Of course, given to the top point guard in the country. Can he get this Alabama team a massive early season non-conference win? There's a turnover the other way. Here comes Allen. But appeared to be some contact, no whistle, and a much-needed basket for Alabama.
Well, no EK on the floor if you're Alabama. Can you allow your defense to create some opportunities there. Live ball turnover for that transition deuce.
Dino Chinte has checked in for Mark Few. This is Jalen Warley. Outside to Smith, finds the laces, short. And Gonzaga now 4 of 16 from deep. Phylon running that two-man pick-and-roll action, just too much.
And that's the one advantage when you can get out in transition. You create cross matches and confusion with the defense there. And Phylon able to take advantage.
Phylon with 11 of his 25 since halftime. And meantime, Gonzaga have not scored in more than 3 minutes. Huff misfires. GA, what defensive adjustment have you seen last couple of minutes from Alabama?
Honestly, it's just their ability to control defensive backward. They did a good job in the first half there with their initial wave of the defense, but you have to finish your defense by controlling that defensive backboard. Here's the last few possessions. They've been able to do that and then able to get out in transition and convert.
Good handle that time shown by Sherrell. As it looks like he's going to take a seat here, catch his breath. London Jemison, another freshman for NATO. It's going to check in for Bama. And Graham Ike, after a brief rest, back in for Mark Few. So 12 and change left. 7 to shoot here for Alabama. Phylon the inbounder. Phylon gets it back, backing down Smith. Jemison from deep. 10 straight for Alabama. And the Crimson Tide back in front.
And how about Phylon there on the post-up, forces the help and then able to kick it out for the triple for the tie.
Venters started the catch fire towards the end of that first half.
But 4 straight possessions now where Alabama is able to get that defensive rebound. That's really been the difference here in this stretch.
Phylon's going to get him reset as we come up on the 11-minute mark in Las Vegas. 2 of the premier teams in the country doing battle. Quarter 3, Bristow misses badly. How about the sacrifice? Millette diving for the loose ball. And Gonzaga is going to get it when we come back. They haven't scored in almost 5 minutes.
It's been a struggle for them. Alabama continuing to fight.
You're watching the Geico Players Era on TNT.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Ebglyss. A once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema that helps you spend less time managing your symptoms.
Ebglyss can deliver real and lasting results, like skin that's still more clear at 1 year.
Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Clearer skin, itch relief. Once monthly dosing with or without topicals. You can flare less with Ebglyss. Talk to your doctor about Ebglyss for eczema.
We have some new faces with us this morning.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. Talk to me at the end of the day.
The Emmy winner for Best Drama
Coming through, let's go.
Is it always this busy?
Welcome to the pit.
comes to TNT.
BT's crashing. Clear. Pulse is thready.
Stay with us. No matter how good you are, you're going to make a mistake. That's called being an emergency medicine doctor.
The Pit, next Monday. Back-to-back starting at 9 on TNT. Say your DVR.
You want energy? This is the place to be. Guys, get her going!
First couple months of the season, there's a lot of expectations.
Go to work! Steve! Pick it up, pick it up!
You got to be dialed in. Feel good, get confident. It's go, go, go. Sets up the tone for the rest of the year.
The pace up! NHL on TNT. This is what it's all about. Here we go!
What a scene this has been as the Players Era Tournament continues. Just an incredible day of some of the heavy hitters around the country. GA mentioned that the St. John's Iowa State game, what a finish there. Number 15 Iowa State with a 1-point win. How about Tennessee showing their firepower to start the day? 25-point victory over Rutgers.
Yeah, they were very impressive. I tell you what, Syracuse in defeat. I was really impressed with how hard they played, how they got after it against in Houston, arguably the best team in the country. So we've been treated to some terrific basketball here on day one.
Jared?
Well, Zags fans seeing something that they have not seen all season long. No opponent until Alabama has scored 10 unanswered points as Venters ends the run. But conversely, Spiro, Gonzaga is tied for second in the nation in what they call kill shots. The second most 10-0 runs that their offense has gone on.
Sherrell misses on a leaner. Most of that Alabama run came with Graham Ike on the bench as they're going to get themselves to the free throw line. Saint Supiti showing some of his interior work, the freshman. And he's going to get 2 much-needed free throws here as Phylon is whistled for the foul. That's his second personal.
Yeah, you can see the slap across front. And I'm glad you made that point about Ike. His presence gives Gonzaga a calmness, and it also improves their shot quality because you saw how much time they had on that triple. And able to knock that one down in rhythm.
So here is Saint Supiti, 80% free throw shooter early on in his Gonzaga tenure. The freshman makes it a 3-point game. TNT Sports coverage of the Players Era is brought to you by Lilly, a medicine company. And by Geico. It feels good to Geico. MGM Grand Garden Arena, downtown Las Vegas. Spiro Vitas, Greg Anthony, Jared Greenberg. Rest of our TNT crew. Day one of this fabulous high-powered tournament. 2 of the high-scoring teams in the country. Getting it on here on the big stage as Phylon just keeps on coming for Nate Oates. And more free throws upcoming.
He has been in attack mode and really willing this Alabama team to just stay connected here. Wondering if we're going to get someone else to step up. Holloway, typically their second leading scorer, is a guy that provides a lot of offense. He's had his struggles, but they're going to need somebody else to provide a spark.
Mention what they did last year, that 28-win team. They finished 3rd in the SEC, but they lost 4 starters. Obviously, the first-team All-America, Mark Sears, the headliner, but Nate Oates and his staff doing what they've done repeatedly. They retool, and he has said that this could be potentially the best shooting team he's had. Obviously, it hasn't been a great shooting night tonight, not from the 3-point line, but obviously still early in the season trying to figure out what they've got.
And that's part of it. Listen, they've been tested. They've played some high-level competition. And I think they've accounted themselves well. They're going to get foul on there on a foul.
So that'll be Phylon's 3rd. With 10:21 now left to play in regulation.
Didn't like the call, but that was a pretty easy one there for the official. Now, he's got to be really careful. And if you're Mark Few, I'm maybe thinking about trying to incorporate him in some actions, see if maybe you can pick up a 4th foul, because he really has been their most important player offensively.
Mark Few has that tablet where he's able to get the live replay instantaneously. Just saw it and immediately started complaining to the officials about that call. Here's Grant Foster by the hesitation maneuver. How good has he been? He's got 15 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he has been terrific. And I know I keep saying it, it sounds like a broken record as Phylon just gets wherever he wants when he wants. Getting downhill with that beautiful deuce. But even on that attack, Ike creates so much space because of all the attention he draws.
Dino Chente misfires from deep. So we are past the midway point of this second half. LeBaron Philon, 17 of Bama's 23 second-half points. He's looking for more. Up and under. Glass, no. Ike, and he's fouled by Sherrill.
Ike is just doing it all, folks. He just, you know, you don't look at him and think that he's got the kind of lateral quickness that he has. But how about there? He contests the shot and still able to be the guy to get the rebound. That's an impressive play. Watch this. Gives the contest there. But look at the second jump. Immediately right back up. Great timing. Gets the rebound. Forces the foul there to give Gonzaga the possession.
First 2 years as a collegiate at Wyoming, including a redshirt year. His third year in Spokane. Has become one of the elite bigs in the country. As we hit the 9-minute mark, second half. Saint Supini, little reaching by Sherrill, extending his defense. 7 to shoot. Ike doing his dance, misses, and look at the tip. Inochinte.
They are just attacking that offensive glass at every opportunity.
Young man from the Ivory Coast, Sherrill the answer. And a chance at 3, huge basket for Alabama.
Great job there by Fallon on the pass, but watch, you know, just look at the attack there, just running downhill. Great balance, able to get it, and then a beautiful find by Fallon down low, takes the contact. Sherrill able to get the finish, boy. It feels like Gonzaga's in control, but you look up, it's a one-possession game.
Just have to be in awe by the talent, both of these two teams, the athleticism that Mark Few, the array of athletes that he's built with this team. Putting it on full display. Amazing play a moment ago by Inochinte. As Saint Supini tracks down the loose change in the corner. So a 2-point Gonzaga lead with possession as they try to stay perfect. Entering the night 5-0. Venters off the bounce, under control, misses. Who touched it last? Gonzaga will retain possession.
I tell you, they just attack the offensive glass. Even if they can't corral it, they're trying to get a hand on it to keep it alive.
This is Huff, Venters. Now it's Grant Foster into the paint. Bottled up, reset, 6 to shoot. Saint Supini, here comes the freshman, turns the corner, misfires. And Bama looking to push. Here's Sherrill weaving his way to the box. Well, they had Bristow open. Holloway couldn't get it to him. Holloway, Bristow to the cup, missed it in tight. Officials are going to say loose ball foul against the Zags. And that is going to put Alabama in the bonus 1-1 with still 7:40 left.
Yeah, I didn't love the call, but remember, Mark Few now doesn't have an ability to challenge there. So that call is going to stand.
Alabama is going to head to the free throw line. When we come back, we got a 1-score game in Sin City on TNT.
Emmitt Smith is a legendary football and dancing star, but he also has Geico like a regular person. So we had one translate.
The whole routine was getting stale.
His last insurance company wasn't doing it for him.
So, this fox had a trot.
He switched to Geico.
Like 5, 6, 7, 8, 900.
Dollars. He saved over $900 by switching.
You're not Emmitt Smith, but we'll treat you like him. It feels good to get the star treatment. It feels good to Geico.
Can I help you, sir? Here's the bill from the dealership where I got my car, and I'd like you to beat it with a better deal on one of these fine cars. Not how it works. At Verizon it is. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill, and they'll give you a better deal. Isn't Verizon expensive? No. Better deal, best 5G network. I'll take this little red situation here. Don't call it that.
Bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal today.
On your way.
You're not as cool as Verizon.
They all want the Emirates NBA Cup.
I'm gonna get that.
30 teams, 6 groups, nowhere to hide. The hungriest will advance. The rest will be left behind.
Now this is high-stakes action.
Everyone wants that cup.
But only one will capture it.
That guard dog sure is lucky he has Simply Safe with proactive monitoring.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Must be nice.
Simply Safe. Real security stops crime before it starts.
I'll stop the world and melt with you. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Have you had your Hershey's?
4 days of college hoops action end under the Palm Springs lights. The Acrisure series concludes Friday at 2 Eastern on True TV and HBO Max. Into the night we go here in Vegas. There's your score, 7:40 left, 69-67. Mark Few, GA, was upset with that last foul call against Venters underneath. And remember, he used his challenge in the first half, unsuccessful, so he doesn't have another one here. And it's going to be interesting to see how coaches use that challenge as the season goes on.
And it really depends. You can see, I mean, there's obviously contact there, but that's a questionable one. But again, you don't have that ability now to challenge. And a golden opportunity here now for Alabama to tie things up.
It'll be Keaton Bristow, a Tarleton State transfer, first year in the program. He's a sophomore for Nate Oates. 1-1, too much. Offensive rebound, Allen left open. Well, he won't get a better look than that. Sherrell on a putback, and he's going to shoot two.
And Ike will pick up the foul there. And how about Alabama, the third on Ike. Alabama giving Gonzaga a little taste of their own medicine there. A couple offensive rebound opportunities. First off the miss. Not able to get that triple to convert. But then Sherrell there, active, able to come up with it, but another missed free throw. Neither team shot it well. Both teams 10 of 16 here from the line.
This Alabama team, brutal early non-conference schedule. They've already faced 3 top 10 teams. Remember, they beat St. John's in Illinois, sandwiched around that one loss so far against Purdue. They lost that game 87-80. How do they fare against this really impressive Gonzaga team tonight? 1-point game as we come up on the final 7 minutes. Huff into the corner. Grant Foster. Allen dares him to shoot. Grant Foster into the paint. Missed it.
And the shot quality of the last few possessions starting to wane just a little bit for Gonzaga.
Holloway splash. And he's put the Crimson Tide back in front.
And Fallon, though, also in attack mode, able to find his running mate for that corner pocket three. And Mark Hughes going to have to talk it over right now. Transition attack, triple knocked down for Bama.
Oh, I gotta come clean. I don't get football.
What?
Why do they score by 7?
6.
And the kicker is so little. I worry about him.
Do you even like my nachos?
I love your nachos, man.
Cottonelle leaves you so clean, you'll want to come clean about everything else.
Santa, Santa, did you get my letter?
Oh, I'm not. Elf? Elf? I'm 6'3". You want your family to go to T-Mobile, where you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. Awesome cameras, epic display, right, Mrs. Claus?
Actually, I'm her much younger sister. Also, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. Dude.
Yeah.
Not you.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
So what am I getting?
America's best network, kid.
Ashley's biggest sale of the year gets even better this week. Shop Black Friday doorbusters starting at just $1.99. Save up to $1,000 on your entire purchase or get 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. This week only at Ashley.
A diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. So why would life with ATTR-CM define you? You have the power of choice. Atrubi is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. Atrubi helps slow the progression of ATTR-CM. People taking Atrubi were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Atrubi is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
Back with you from Vegas. Let's get you our Geico moment of the game in what has been a career night for LeBaron Philon. 29 points for the Crimson Tide.
And really been in attack mode all game, active defensively, knocking down shots, living inside the interior of that Gonzaga defense and willing this team to this 1-2-point lead, I should say. He has been terrific here, giving Alabama the momentum here. Can they sustain it with about 7 minutes to go?
Greg, you knew that they needed someone to step up with Latrell Wrightsell Jr. unavailable. We got the report at the top from Jared that right leg injury. Expected to miss 1, maybe even 2 weeks. But will no doubt miss the rest of this tournament in Las Vegas as EK shoved to the floor. As we hit the 6:45 mark left, what are both coaches telling their players in that last timeout huddle?
Well, you need just continue with what we're doing. They've done a terrific job defensively in the half court. They've controlled the defensive backboard a little bit better. They're not going to dominate it, but they just don't want to be overwhelmed. And they've not allowed EK to really dictate in the half court.
Oh, Grant Foster, just vicious.
And EK's limping a little bit. It looks like he's laboring, not moving very well, but that was a terrific pass there, and then a turnover by Alabama.
But if people around the country don't know about Tyon Grant Foster with this Gonzaga team, you better start paying attention. All tied at 71 with 6 and change left. For a beautiful little float game.
And you see the difference. When Gonzaga's been at their best, their bigs touch the basketball. EK and Huff, last 2 possessions, involved with their offense, and they convert.
Holloway, offensive rebound. Huff got him from the back. Here comes Grant Foster weaving through traffic. Outside, Huff barreling to the bucket. Now they're going to reset underneath EK. Reaching foul. Fisher's going to get Taylor, Bol, Bowen, side out of bounds.
And how about this play? The ability and awareness. I think this is a set play out of that timeout, though. Beautiful pass and an even better finish by Grant Foster.
Bol Bowen, meantime, Greg, has fouled out for Alabama. So Keaton Bristow, the sophomore, transfer into the game here with 5:35 left. Inbound to EK. Double teamed. Saint Subini from deep. Missed it. And 1 and done for the Bulldogs with Bristow corralling the loose change. Bristow puts it on the deck on the attack, going glass. Challenging EK, who, by the way, is still limping. EK underneath, missed it, cleans up his own miss.
Tell you what, EK very fortunate, almost got away, almost got called for an offensive foul, swung that elbow on the swing through, able to get the offensive rebound.
Boy, LeBaron Fine, beautiful dime, getting the cutting Sherrell, who's going to get himself back to the free throw line. And everyone's going to catch their breath. 4-point Gonzaga lead with 4:54 left in regulation.
You talked about Fallon. He's done such a good job of making sure he keeps his teammates engaged, getting them involved in the offense a little bit because he needs them here down the stretch.
So Aiden Sherrell, the sophomore out of prolific prep, young man from Detroit, misfires on his first valuable points. So he left on the free throw line. A reminder coming up next, just getting started here in Vegas. UNLV and Maryland. Greg Anthony going to see his old boys. As Josh Pastner opening a new era of running Rebels basketball. And a big early season test against Buzz Williams and the Terps coming up next on TNT.
So that game also is going to, I think, be pretty entertaining. Maryland, terrific win earlier this season against Marquette on the road. And UNLV went to Memphis to knock off Penny Hardaway and the Tigers for a much-needed road win.
That rebound was last touched by Gonzaga, so a break for the Crimson Tide. 4:53 to play. Shot clock resets to 20. Who does Bama turn to for some more offense? Boy, they just barely get the timeout right before that potential 5-second violation. And a sigh of relief on that Alabama bench.
That was a very generous 5-second call. Great action there by Alabama, but give Gonzaga credit. Defended that baseline out of bounds terrifically. So we got all we could have asked for here down the stretch. Right, this is a lot of fun. This is what college basketball is all about.
What a night for Tyon Grant Foster. 17 points, 6 rebounds. He's 8 of 15 from the field.
And I just love the motor. He is so active, always in attack mode, a two-way player, 3-level scorer, and a terrific compliment to EK and Huff on that front line.
Well, what a massive early season win this would be for Gonzaga.
Really for either team. It would be huge for Gonzaga, especially because, Creighton is a game preseason, you assume. Greg McDermott always does a great job, but always got a team that seems like it's going to be in the tournament. But because that game wasn't as competitive, you knew this one with what Alabama's faced already this season. This is one where I like to call these barometer games, where you get a real sense of who you are.
Fine line, the inbounder, and we're going to get a whistle here in the paint against Gonzaga. So that's going to put Alabama at the free throw line for 2 shots. Dead ball whistle and a chance to cut this thing to a point. It's on Venters.
And when you see the kind of action Alabama runs on those baseline out of bounds, oftentimes you'll see teams try to go to a zone to eliminate some of that. They run a lot of action, and you can see there just a little bit of a grab. Easy call right in front of the official there on Venters.
But you can see the issue that Alabama is having. Fallon has really been, in a lot of ways, their only source of offense. Who else can they rely on? Holloway hasn't had a good shooting night as they look for some other sources of offense here down the stretch.
Well, the beauty of it is the first 35 minutes, it doesn't matter how you shot it. It's about time and score. And so if you're Holloway or anybody else from Alabama, doesn't matter how the game's gone to this point. Can you deliver here down the stretch?
Allen knocked it loose. EK rips it back and rolls it in. So Graham EK, 14 points, 9 rebounds, flirting with a double-double. Allen on the perimeter, poked away, Grant Foster. It's a foot race. He has been magnificent.
We talked about that two-way ability. He can guard 1 through 5. And this guy just embraces the challenge on both ends.
Sherrell against some of that tremendous passing. Bristow couldn't finish. Last touch by Bama. Gonzaga on a 10-3 run. They got a 5-point lead.
And it's been set up by their defense. Tyon Grant Foster, he's been doing it all night long. Zags starting to turn it up defensively.
Say yes to this ride-on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club Roadside Assistance. Yeah, hi, I'm on the corner of pants and pork rinds. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
Thought they were out of style, huh? Well, check their new game day fit. Oh, snap! DirecTV got hot.
That's right. DirecTV is flexing with all those pro and college games at your fingertips. This ain't your dad's cable, son. It's couture.
Thank you. I got this. Catching your favorite teams is easy. Whether it's on live TV or streaming, your games are front and center.
We're talking tailor fit. DirecTV ain't playing.
They're playing football.
Well, yeah, obviously they're playing football, but they knew what I was talking about.
DirecTV now includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited.
How's that pasta coming along?
Pretty good.
Great job, honey.
Oh no, it's closed.
What about my letter?
Hey, Lexus, call Uncle Brian.
Uncle Brian.
To the North Pole?
Grandpa! Oh no!
The greatest measure of the season
He did get my letter.
is how it makes you feel. The December to Remember sales event. Get offers on select models.
Uh-oh, this does not look good. Here, quick, have a Red Bull and pass it on.
No Red Bull, no wings.
Everyone gearing up for the final 4 minutes. Gonzaga with a 5-point lead, 79-74. Our game summary, 8 ties, 11 lead changes. Fine line has been just remarkable here, especially in the second half, and a career high. And Tyon Grant Foster leading the charge for Mark Few and the Bulldogs. As we break the timeout huddle here, it will be Gonzaga basketball. Saint Supiti will be the ball handler. Huff, Grant Foster with EK and Venters. And meantime, Sherrell, Holloway, Allen, Bristow, and Filon for Nate Oates. Another fascinating thing to see here, GA. Who do these coaches trust down the stretch? And really just a huge early season test for both teams. Huff into the paint, turns, Venters. Sharpshooter, bangs in a 3.
How about the execution and the patience there? EK finds Huff, and Huff able to get that corner 3 in there. A live ball turnover. Filon just a little out of control there.
EK, danger zone for Alabama. Largest lead of the night for Gonzaga.
Well, you talked about where does Gonzaga go? They go to their bread and butter. EK sets the tone, makes the read, and then able to get this easy deuce here in transition.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
There's your score at 3:23 left. Alabama, GA, what has happened to their offense here down the stretch?
Well, you talked about it. It's so much pressure on Baron Philon to have to do everything. But here, just great offensive execution. You can see that overload because of the impact that you've gotten from Ike. He's able to force the defense to overcommit, creates that corner three, and then that transition opportunity off the live ball turnover. But you talked about Alabama. The real issue right now is they just haven't had anybody else that's been able to step up offensively, not named Philon. And then with Holloway having his struggles making shots here tonight, it's just put a lot of pressure on their half-court offense. Couple that with their inability to really keep Gonzaga off the court over the course of the game off the offensive glass.
You see the run, loose ball foul here is Foster. The relentlessness continues, 1-and-1 with Alabama over the foul limit. So the Crimson Tide getting a taste of how good this Gonzaga defense has been. Another look at that rebound, that loose ball foul. No Alabama field goals, GA, in 4+ minutes. They have now missed 7 of their last 8 shots against this rugged Bulldogs defense.
Yeah, that's just really hard to overcome. And I just think fatigue starting to be a bit of an issue for Alabama. And the size and physicality and the dominance in the paint from Gonzaga also taking its toll.
Tyon Grant Foster from Kansas City. Mentioned his journey, 4 different schools that he's played for. And boy, you think he's found a home in Spokane, blowing kisses to the Gonzaga contingent. 11 straight for the Zags.
And now they've gone to a little bit of a zone just to change up and give
Holloway,
a different look.
big shot.
And they have needed that. And listen, still a lot of time in this game, 3-possession game. 2.5 minutes.
Holloway extends his defense as we come up on the final 2 minutes. Aaron pass, that's a turnover.
And that time they went to double the basketball, and it forces the ill-advised pass there to give Alabama an extra possession.
Gonzaga trying to settle into their half-court defense. Only their 3rd turnover of the half. Last touched here by the Bulldogs. With 21 seconds to shoot for Alabama.
Yeah, again, you don't have to force anything if you're Alabama. Just get good looks here. You can even live getting a deuce here. You don't have to get the 3. And they're going to get free throws off the dead ball.
It'll be 2 free throws. So another key whistle here as Alabama slowly trying to chip away at the deficit. 9-point game, and Venters has fouled out his 5th.
Yeah, that's a big loss. Venters has knocked down some shots. He's a gritty defender on the perimeter as well.
Mark Few and his assistants with some final words of encouragement. Looked like Few was upset with that decision by Venters to foul. That's a big loss, you're right. So here's Amari Allen, the Green Bay native, and boy, they are missing some key free throws here down the stretch.
It has been an issue for them. They've missed 8 here tonight.
Boy, missed both, my goodness. Alabama in the second half is 7 of 15 from the stripe. That's not good enough against a team of Gonzaga's caliber. As we cross the 2-minute mark, Huff. Allen got a piece and a steal. Big possession right here. Pull up. Millette. Corner 3 won't go. And the rebound corralled by Saint Supini.
They're going to gotta extend your pressure a little bit here if you're Alabama. If you're Gonzaga, you want to take your time. Make sure you get shots off, but not till the end of the shot clock.
Huff, but just a thing of beauty. The pump fake to freeze the defender. Huff has been sensational.
Yeah, he and Ike, their bigs do such a great job with their decision making. And Sherrill able to pick up the loose change there for the deuce.
So that'll cut it to 9. But Alabama running out of clock. 62 seconds. Official's going to get a reach-in call here.
I think that was a kick ball. They're
kick, you're right.
Call there.
So underneath out of bounds for Gonzaga. And another look at this magnificent play by Huff, who now has 18 points and 8 rebounds tonight for Mark Few.
Yeah, and we talked about it, and you saw it there. What makes him special when your bigs can play in space and make good decisions, and that was a perfect example. Now, he did have the turnover on the possession prior, but even then, he was trying to make the right read, and it really creates such great balance offensively when your bigs can make decisions on the floor in terms of the reads. They're going to get a delay of game, I think, against Gonzaga.
Mark Few's going to get a timeout here with 1:02 left to play. And Gonzaga holding a 9-point lead on this potent Alabama Crimson Tide program. High intensity here in Las Vegas, late stages on TNT.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down as you do.
Beautiful sight high above the Vegas Strip. 62 seconds left. MGM Grand Garden Arena. Boy, you think about the history in this building over the years. I know you're a boxing fan.
Oh,
you were
man.
here for all those Tyson
great
fights.
ones here, boy. A lot of great fights here in this arena.
We got a couple of heavyweights here getting it on. Gonzaga trying to put the finishing touches on Alabama. Not out of the woods just yet. Final 60 seconds. They're going to get Jemison on a reach-in. 1-1. But this 1-2 combination with Huff and EK, this is going to be a vaunted front court tandem for Mark Few as the season goes on.
Well, they do such a great job, and you know it's kind of the way the game has evolved too. Your bigs have to be able to play in space, but they've also got to be able to make great decisions. And those two guys tonight, boy, they have created all sorts of problems for Alabama.
Greg, and then you add Grant Foster to the mix with everything he brings. My goodness.
Yeah, this and we talked about it at the top. Again, you know, top line talent, and by that I mean I don't necessarily see guys as lottery picks, but this might be as good a team as Mark Few has had. This group, man, defensively, the physicality, we talked about it, the way they defended in the paint, at the rim, at the three-point line. They are a cohesive group.
Phylon misses on a 3. Fight for it. Loose ball foul, Alabama. And right now the Crimson Tide are on the ropes. It's on Allen. So LeBaron Phylon, who started the half, first 10 minutes or so was just lights out. Hasn't scored, GA, since the 9-minute mark. So obviously an adjustment by Mark Few and his defense. And Alabama just has not been able to find another source of offense.
Yeah, that and also, Spiro, sometimes fatigue, because when you've got that much responsibility offensively where you're creating against great defense for yourself, and then you've got to also create for your teammates, that can wear anybody out. So I don't think it was for a lack of effort. I just think he needed somebody else. You know, you got to have possessions where others are doing things where you can kind of excel, almost rest on offense. And because Holloway's had his struggles tonight and nobody else able to really step up and consistently create, that's just challenging.
Allen's going to hit a 3. Nate Oates quick timeout, 42.6. That'll get it down to 10. But an uphill climb here for Alabama against a Gonzaga team that is playing with supreme confidence.
Yeah, I was real excited to see this game. You know, I hadn't gotten the chance to see much of them, either of them really, but seeing them in person, you can see Rebels coming up against Maryland. Another, I think, balanced matchup. I think those are two teams that are going to put up a great effort here. Excited to see my alma mater. Haven't seen them in person in a little bit of time, so this will be fun. But yeah, I tell you, these are two teams that I would not be surprised to make a deep run this upcoming March.
Some of the top programs in the country all converging on Las Vegas. Day one of this Players Era Championship. And what a day of games it was. Had a chance to check out that Syracuse team in this building a short time ago. 78-74, taking Houston and Kelvin Sampson's team to overtime. And Michigan right now flexing against San Diego State. 20-point second half lead in that game.
And Bruce Pearl got to see his son in Auburn get a nice win over Oregon. Dana Altman's group. Well, I'm still blown away by the level of talent that this Players Era tournament has put forth. How competitive the games have been. You know, the first Tennessee just was at another level in that first game, but outside of that, you know, for the most part, these have all been very compelling and competitive matchups, much like what you and I have had the opportunity to do here tonight.
Foul charge to Jemison, his fourth. So 10th team foul. That means 2 free throws for Graham Ike. And this Players Era Championship is going to expand to even more teams next year.
Yeah.
Game change. You consider all the NIL prize money here that's helped to transform all of these programs around the country. But you're a fan of the model of this tournament and how the game and the sport is going to even different heights.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of what they've been able to do. The growth of this just in the 2 years that we've seen this materialize. We got the ladies groups coming up, the ladies games. I mean, high power, high octane talent on that side. As the women's game has just kind of exploded here. A lot of excitement going to be on display there as well.
Jemison hits a 3. So Alabama not going quietly. 31.7. That cuts it down to 8 points. So they're going to try to extend this thing out. Saint Supiti hounded foul. They're going to get Holloway. Holloway arguing for a hooking foul. But instead it'll be the young Spanish freshman at the free throw line shooting 2. As we are down to 28 seconds.
We've seen some crazy things in basketball before, but especially at this level, a little different in terms of not being able to advance the ball. So 28 seconds, if you're able to make at least one of these, Gonzaga, you got to feel pretty good.
Remember this Gonzaga team, all of those years of domination in the West Coast Conference, kind of been knocked off their perch a little bit. 2 years in a row that they have failed to win the regular season championship. They, of course, won the conference tournament last season. 26 straight trips to the dance. And what has been just a staggering run for Mark Few.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at the notes. 22 conference championships, 20 conference tournament championships. That's just unreal. The level of excellence Mark Few and Gonzaga has put forth here in his tenure. And Nate Oates, he's got to be proud of what he's been able to accomplish in his short stint here with Alabama as well.
Well, I tell you what, Mark Few's had some great teams. This bunch got some big plans of its own, trying to write their own script. They got their first signature win of the season as they knock off one of the elite teams in the country, and they do it with a convincing second half performance. 95-85 as they handle the Crimson Tide here in Vegas. Graham Ike, 21 points, 11 rebounds. But he had some help. Tyon Grant Foster, season high, 21 points.
He was incredible. What a nice compliment to that two-headed monster with Huff and Ike. He just brought that activity level, the athleticism, and that tenacity to attack defensively for the Zags, who are looking every bit like one of the very best teams in America.
So Mark Few's Bulldogs stay perfect. They improved to 6-0 in the young season. And the second loss of the year, meantime, for Nate Oates and Alabama as they fall to 3-2. What a performance by Gonzaga as they win it 95-85. We'll be back here with more action coming up from the Players Era Tournament in about 25 minutes with Maryland and UNLV. Now for Greg Anthony, Jared Greenberg, rest of the crew, Spiro Diaz saying so long.